Okay, there we go. I think I was just having an issue with the stream. I don't know. It seems to be working now. Okay. So we're displaying the aside here when this is clicked. So this user has the button here. When the button is clicked, it will dispatch our message. This message will be caught here, and then we need to just call a function in order to update this. But I want to svelte dispatch. I just need to check the syntax of everything. So let's just solve this. On message. Okay, correct. Good. Doing this right. So in our script, create a function, display aside, and how do we take an event? So let's take some event. And then event.detail contains our data, correct? Yeah, because it sends text, so event.detail contains the data. So, display aside, we're just going to flip it. So, if it's false, true, true, then false. So, display aside equals not. Display aside. Simple way to flip a true false. And then current aside equals event.detail.current aside. And if we didn't screw anything up, that should work. We did screw something up, of course. Identifier display aside has already been declared. Yeah, that is problematic. So let's show aside. Terrible, but whatever. Show aside. Show aside. And okay, so working. Let's see. No, not getting anything. All right. Console, are we getting any errors? Doesn't look like. So what we're gonna do here, let's see if this is working. Show aside. Let's just refresh it just to be sure. Alright, so this is not catching our display aside message. Let's see what we did wrong here. Yeah, here. So on message, handle message, and our inner display message, text hello. Let's make sure that show example. Yeah, that's. Oh. Let's make sure show example runs. Show example. And so show example is running. Dispatch is not dispatching properly, it seems. So this is our user.svelte. User.svelte. On message. What is wrong here? So dispatch message. Dispatch takes a string and an object. Here's string and object. And then should run this, but it's not. Did I save this? Okay, so that's not the issue. What is going on? And make sure, so create event dispatcher from Svelte. And then dispatch equals create event dispatcher. What's going on? So let's make sure on message equals handle message. On message equals display aside. What is... I really don't understand why this is not working. Let me try it. I don't think this has anything to do with it, but I'm going to try it. So, function display aside. I don't believe that would have anything to do with it, but I'm going to give it a shot. Should we save? Yeah. No difference. What am I missing here? What am I missing? So, components can dispatch events. To do so, they must create an event dispatcher. Yeah, okay. Function will dispatch the message. Text hello. Create event dispatcher must be called when the component is first instantiated. You can't do it later. Set a set timeout. This links dispatch to the component instance. Okay, that's fine. Great. Yep. Create event dispatcher. Do we have any errors? We don't have any errors. On message equals handle message. You can also try changing the event name to something else. For example, message. And change the attribute. Oh, yeah. Idiot. So I was thinking, yeah. Okay, so it's this right here that needs to match the dispatch, the display aside. I was thinking that on message is default, and then this right here needs to match the dispatch. But this is the function that it's calling. Okay. Yep. I see. So this would be on display aside. Yep. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Sorry about the camera. If it's blurry, I have a terrible camera. So now, boom, now it's working. And it should hide. No, it does not. Alright, that's fine. We'll fix that. Oh, yeah. If this should be... Why did that work at all? Whatever. Let's try this again. Okay, so this works. That works. Boom. Awesome. Now... Okay, so let's save that right there. Hide display slide conditionally. All right. Next is going to be the let's finish up this user stuff. So I want to add some more here. All right, so let's go back to striped ducks. Let's open up customer. Okay, so I want to have something like this. Customer object. We've got it defined here. Oh yeah, I like the way they do this. This is perfect for us. Yep. Just like that. So, this will actually be a different thing. I think what I want to do is probably use slots. I don't remember exactly. I'll have to go back and look at that. So basically just have a slot where I put in all of the user stuff. So that way, basically, I'll have something like user object here, and then create user, whatever, pass those in because these are really children of the user, a part of that. So it makes sense to put them in slots here. I like that idea. Let's look up Svelte slots. Alright, slots. Some components, so let's just solve it so we can look at it. Patrick Bateman. Alright. So we've got a card that has 2 spans inside of it. Okay. So card. And how do they handle the slot? Okay, just a slot right there, like that. Or this paper and wood thing. Oh, it's just images. Okay. That seems pretty simple. And how do we style? Do we just style the slot? Dot card. Named slots. I don't think we need that. Yeah. I don't think span slot equals telephone. Okay. So our card is these 2 spans and then slot telephone. And how does it handle in here? Slot name equals address. Okay. Pretty simple. I do want to see how the card, they've got to have some, it's not showing how to, I'm guessing it's just, slot. We'll style the slot. Can a slot hold more than one? Let's go back to the other one. Yeah, okay. So a slot can hold anything we want to put in there. Alright, makes sense. Okay. Before I get started on this, I'm going to take a brief break. Sorry, I just got started, but I gotta do something real quick. Be right back. All right, we're back. Okay, slots. So, going to have first we need to go over here, define where our slot is going to be. So this button actually shouldn't even be here because this is the over, which means don't need that. Get back to it later. So here we're just going to have slot. And then this first one, we're going to put slot user object. User. Actually, we don't even have any style anymore, so let's do that. Now we need to create our user object. Now I believe when we call show aside, it will be from our user object. So I believe that will still handle the display aside. Because as long as I don't catch it in the user, then it will be passed back up to the overall container, the plus page.svelte. Let's find out. Okay, so components, and we're going to create a new one. It's going to be user object.svelte. Import it over here. The object from slash components. Components. I have a terrible time writing that word. User object.svelte. Okay. So what are we going to have here? I think just a divider on the top and bottom. So it's just a div equals, but actually, I'll put that in another component itself, since we're gonna need it between each of them. All right. So user object. Let me see how they document there. Okay, no. So we'll just have an h2 user object, and this will be, I'll have h3 properties. Class equals property. All right. So property 1 is going to be ID. Okay, yeah, I like how they do this. So the first line will be I'll have a span, class equals bold. This will be underscore ID. And then string. Unique identifier for the user. Yeah, I'm like copying Stripe almost completely, but they've got good docs, so it's a good way to do it, I think. Let's do some style before we go much further. So I think here, class equals property name. Class equals property description. Alright. Style. Oops. So our property, going to border top 1 pixel solid, should black. I think it'll be a bit too, the background's a bit too dark, but we'll see what it looks like. Border bottom 1 pixel solid white. I think we want to put a bunch of padding top and bottom. We'll do 35 top and bottom, 0 left, right. See what this looks like. Okay. I do want the line to be subtle. That's maybe a bit too subtle and hard on the eyes. And actually, I don't want the color to be white here. I want it to be a really light gray, but I'll deal with that later. I find that white on black is really harsh. It almost feels like blurry to me. But if you put it to like just a really light gray, it looks a lot nicer. But anyway, back to this. This is too harsh. What we'll do is, instead of white, just plain white, RGBA, 0, 0, no, white is all of the colors. I always get that mixed up. And we'll start at 0.5. Same here. 5. See what that looks like. It's a bit better, but let me try. Go 2.25. Even more subtle, I think. Even more. That's that I like. That's perfect, I think. Alright, I think that's good. $35, I think, is too much. 25, not even that much. 15, I think, is good. We need our bold class, so dot bold text weight, font weight, font weight, bold. All right. But we also want to dot property name, and we're going to give it font size 12 pixels, but here we'll do font size 16 pixels. And the bold, we're going to give it some space on the right, so margin right will be 35 pixels. All right, that's not bad. We need some left-right padding on this, as well as this I think we'll bring down to 15. That's already looking pretty good. Let's change the color. I think I can just do it in here. RGB. No, we don't want white. Let's go with 200. I think that might be too dark. Oh, no, I think that's just right. Yeah, it's good. All right. Is there anything else on it? I think that's pretty good for each property. Still gotta style up some of this stuff, but just for these properties right here, I think that's pretty good. Yep, I like it. Okay, so now let's just create our different properties. So div equals property. Could create a component for each of these. And then pass in. I'd have to pass in the property, the type, and a description. Yeah, I mean, that's what they're for when we have multiple of these. So let's do it. So source, routes, docs. This will be in components. And it's going to be object property. That's Svelte. And we'll open that up. So basically, just everything we have in there. Property. Just, there's no reason to do all this. I can just copy and paste. Yeah, all of this can just go over there. Yoink. I think. Nah, that's fine like that. And then here, well, let's create this first, because we're going to need, oops, Svelte props. All right, I just want to see the example, so we'll solve it. Okay, yep. Import. Yeah, so nested answer equals 42, and in here export let answer. Yep. Awesome. So export let, and I think I can do these in one line. So it's going to be the property type and description. I think I can just do it like that. And then here, it's going to do property, script. I don't need that space there. Description. Wait, no, that's type. Description. That should make it so that I can just do first. Let's import it. Import from, yeah, okay. Import object property from / object property dot svelte. And then what I can do here is just do object property. Is Svelte usually, yeah, see, it seems to use the / notation for things, so I'll start using that instead. So object property, so I need the property be, this can just be strings. Okay. Can I just pass? I think I can just pass a string here. That's all it is. Let's try it out. Property is _ID. Our type is string. And our description is, deleted that, but unique identifier for the user. Have any errors or anything? Doesn't seem so. Yeah, that looks good. Just make sure we got that. Actually, okay. I just wanted to make sure that you're updated. Okay, that works perfectly. Now we can just do object property. Property. Email. Type will be string. Description. Email address of the user. Property. Property. First name. Type is string. Description. First name of the user. Last name. Type is string. Oops, I am adding commas here. Just habit. Last name of the user. First name, last name, status. Object property. Type is string. Again, just keep doing it. Description will be current status of user account. One of active, inactive, email. Instead of email, We're gonna have to update the unverified. How are we looking so far? Errors. Yep, of course. I put some commas in there that shouldn't be there. That looks pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, I don't know if it comes through on stream, but it really does for me here. This is so much nicer to read than this blaring white. This almost, I don't know if it's just me, but when I look at this, it feels like it's a little bit blurry, like my eyes are out of focus. But then down here, this is real nice. It's much better. I wonder, I bet you these aren't white either. They look white. Class. Padding, margin. Oh my god, this is huge. Let's search. Is there something else in here? No, just this. Okay, so filter styles, color. Yep. So, color picker. We put, wait, what? That doesn't work. I just realized. Oh, that's a variable. Is it in fonts? I'm just curious what color they have. Variable leading to another variable. Whatever. It's probably not white. And I don't. Whatever. Okay. Okay, see, they got the nice bar across the whole thing there, rather than... Yeah, okay. Alright. Just realized with these top and bottom, you can see these are nice and are kind of thick, whereas the ones at the very top and very bottom are thinner. Because this is two of them together, top and bottom. Whereas these are just one. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Alright, we need to keep going because we're not done. What's next? Status verification code. Again, that is... I'm not sending that down. I gotta fix that. Property equals verification. Nope. Avatar. Type. String. God damn. Description. URL for using the user avatar image. String nullable object. Nullable string. Yeah, it's all either strings or object. There's an integer timestamp. Okay. I'm seeing what they use for names here, calling stuff, because everything I have is a string. they use for email? Do they just use, yeah, just a string? I wasn't sure if they'd call it, give it like a email type or something. But yeah, makes sense. Okay. Avatar, last thing, default location. Object. Property. Property equals, oops, default location. Type. String. Yeah. Description. ID for the default location of the user. And that's it. Doing good so far. Now, I want to do a little bit more styling up on this stuff here. I want to keep it, get a clear divide there. So that's good. Create the create all of the create and style. All of the properties for the user object. Oh my god. Oh, I forgot to add .swp to my git ignore. Oh god. Shit. I hate it when I do that. So I now have my SWP files from them in my GitHub repo. Yay. Deal with that later. Okay. So, what we need now, these need to be fixed a little bit. So, style. What I'm going to do is just H2 and H3. Just going to push them in a bit. Margin left. 35px. We'll see how that looks. And the divider I'm going to add somewhere else. Yes. Okay. Oops. Let's add in the divider first. This. And divider, just give it border top 1 pixel. What do we use for the others? One pixel solid RGBA. What did I just do? Solid RGBA. 5. This one will go 1.2. Let's go 3.5. Want this one thicker. Why does it not exist? Alright, let's take a look. We should have. So there's our main. Main, which contains a user. User. Why is our div? Oh. No, I put it in the wrong place. That's why. I want it up here. There we go. Alright. So let's go back to our user object. And so H2, give it margin, pop, 35 pixels. All right, that looks pretty good. Let me see how it looks on theirs. So they just do the customer object. Attributes. Okay. So I know this is style stuff, but I think I want these all the way up against the left. I like having this line all the way across here, although yeah, I think probably not. So I think here on this is our slot. So if we had style here, for our slot, we're going to give padding 0, and we'll start at 35. That doesn't do anything. So can we style our slot like that? Is it even possible? Svelte slot styling. Trick here is to opt into the cascade. No. So they need to style the slot container only if it exists. It's looking like it doesn't allow. Yeah, it doesn't allow that. So can't style the slot directly. That means what's in the slot needs to be styled. Now, do I want to? I think I will wrap this in a div. Could I name it article? Would that be proper? Probably not. All right. Div class is objects. Fine. Dot. Here I can do dot object. Adding 0 and 35. That works. That looks better. I'm gonna get rid of the, oh, excuse me. Sorry. Get rid of this right here. So that's right against the side. Or actually, I'm gonna have it margin left. I think it's 15 pixels. H3 margin left 15 pixels and font size 18. I don't think that made any difference. Just want that a little bit smaller. And margin top. I'm just going to put this all in margin. Margin will be 35, 0, 0, 15. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. I like that. The H2, yeah, let's put this in one. Margin will be, let's say 15 pixels top, 0, 0, 15. I like that. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good, I think. And then we just need to get this a little bit. Good. Like that. What we're gonna do is right here. I'm gonna put a button here. Button class. This could be another component. So let's create that component. Components is so components example button dot svelte, and this will be fairly simple. We are going to need script. So the button is just going to be a button. And need export let. I don't remember now. Yeah, export let. It's going to need to take in, so this is always going to show the aside, but which aside it is. So we'll just call that example. And the other thing, I think that's it. So button. Hold on. I'm getting lost here. Button. Button. Then. Yes, like that. So this is going to be on click equals display example. I think that's it. So display launch display example is get to that. Oh yeah, so it's we're gonna have to dispatch here. So example where I think I got rid of the dispatching. Svelte dispatch. Okay. So we're going to import create event dispatcher from Svelte, and then dispatch equals create event dispatcher, and then here we can dispatch. This is display side. And our page.svelte. Yes. Oops. And event.detail current aside will be example. And then we just need to style our button. Oops. It's so much nicer working with Svelte. It just, I'm so much more familiar with it. It goes so much faster, and I don't have to worry about figuring out how to do literally everything. So, our style is going to be, so I think I'm going to make this kind of look like a link. So button, background, none, border, none, or actually border 2 pixels, solid, border, none, and then border bottom will be 2 pixels, solid, RGB, 200, 200, 200, and color be RGB, 200, 200, 200, and then was it cursor, pointer. All right, now we need to use this. So this is going to be in our user object. Need to import first. So import. The hell's it called? Example button. Example button from / example button dot svelte. And then we can just put in our example button, and the prop we need is example. And this is going to be, what's our example? User object? Can't remember. Let's just get it on the page and then we can concern ourselves with it. Hey, I've updated. There we go. All right, user object. Have that here. My snot. Menu, main. So that's that. Button has no content. Yep, that's that should have been obvious. So we'll just put example. Margin left 15 pixels. And I think that's good. I don't like the 2 pixels. Let's just go with 1. Yeah, that looks better. Now if I click on this, nothing happens. All right, we'll fix that. Object property is created with unknown proptory. Fun. Proptory. Property. Okay, we're good now. Alright, that's not working. Let's check that we are calling this. I bet you I know. I think it's on here. And our user example. Nope. It's user example, and now we need to go back to user object. User example. See if that works. It's not. Let's check that we're dispatch. Page. And this should catch it, even though it's multiple components down. If nothing else catches it, I think this should catch it. Could be wrong. So on, let me see, user on this. Oh, you know what? Think. Yeah. I pass in here, so user object will. I think need to do it here. So on display side equals display side. Get rid of this. Dispatch. Log, catch, dispatch. So we're dispatching, but we're not catching the dispatch. So we're passing in. Let's go back to event forwarding. I think that's what we want. So our inner, so our app contains outer. Our inner is dispatching, and our outer is not touching what is dispatched from inner. But then that is catching it. Unlike DOM events, component events don't bubble. If you want to listen to an event on some deeply nested component, the intermediate components must forward the event. Oh wait, we need to solve this. That's right, I'm not looking at the... Okay. Alright. So you just need to put that. That's all. That's all forwarding. That's simple. User object and all we have to do here is on display aside. This is inside of user, so this is on the page, so that should handle it. There we go. Yep. Nice. But that's not taking up the full screen. I'll deal with that. Alright, okay. Console logging is gone. So over here, oops. Display user object example when example button is clicked. Alright, take a short break. I need to grab something to drink. My mouth is dry. And just get a rest for a minute. So I'll be back in just a minute. And I'm back. All right, let's see where we were. So, parent to side, show side, yada yada. Got all that working. This is good. Okay, what I want to do now, I think, is just fix this up. Just make that a little bit nicer. Let me see. Because let's go to the very top and see what. This isn't going to have any menu, or at least not yet. So, okay, so this is our user.svelte component. And let's just add some style in here. This H1 margin top 35 pixels. That's good. Let's give this H1 and P. We'll give, so this is inside of our main. So main, I'm going to give padding 0, 15 pixels. I think that looks pretty good, like that. Our divider, we want to give it a margin, I think 10 pixels, tops and bottoms, top and bottom. That looks pretty good to me. I like that. So then, we can click on this to open and close it. That still needs to be styled. Let's figure out why this is not full width. I'd like it full width until that's opened. So main and inside. There's nothing over here. So our container, it's a flex display with menu, main, and nothing else. Let's see, open this. Okay, then we've got an aside. Close it and it should. So I'm thinking maybe there's something in here that's setting a max width. It would be this if anything, because this would stretch the whole width. No. Main. Width 50. That's what's doing it. Okay, so if we get rid of that, then it stretches the full width. Example, and it just shrinks it a little bit. Good. All right, so on main, we've got that width of 50 pixels. Want to get rid of that. And what I want to do is our side here. I want to get our location for that. So side. So I think, okay, display would be flex. Flex, we're not going to need that. Because there's only going to be one thing displaying in our side at a time. Display is flex. And it's going, what am I doing? Trying to think here. So I think we need a max width, just in case some things get big. No, I want that down here. Max width will be 50 view widths. And displays flex. And we want align items. Center, but we need this to have a height 100 view height. Actually, I'm going to use percentage there. Actually, I'll use 50% as well here. I think that should do it. Alright, if we open our example, that does not do it. So our side, height 100%, or its container is the full size. Which is what that's in. So why is a height of 100%? What the? What? I am confusion. Alright, okay. I'm just gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. If it works, it works. You know what? I really like that. I think that looks good. Beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Okay. Update style for aside and heading, I guess. Next. So this is a page. We're going to add another one here. So Svelte else if else if current aside equals. I don't know why I'm adding this right now. I don't need that yet. I want to first do this. So we are going to need our divider. And we actually don't need this. That. I guess that is the Svelte way. And this is going to be create user on display aside display the aside. Okay, so now we need routes, components, display, oops, that's not it. Create user.svelte. And I need to import this. Create user from /components. Wait a second. So I've got these slots here, but the more that I think about it, I don't think I should be using this slot. This should just be in here. We just put the stuff in here. That actually seems much more logical to me. Yeah. Yep. I mean, I have to create the divider in each user location, yada yada, but small price to pay. This just makes much more sense. Import user object dot slash component slash user object dot svelte. Import create user from dot slash components slash create user dot svelte. And then here we'll do div class divider user object on this on display aside. Now we're just gonna leave it like that because this is now just going to be forwarded up to the user. We don't actually need to run it here. And then div class divider, and then our create user on display aside. Same deal here. And here we're going to need on display aside equals display aside. Good. Are we still working over here? No, of course not. User.svelte. I've got broken shit over here. So dot component slash user object dot svelte. That is, I'm assuming, in user dot svelte. Okay. Source routes docs components. This is user dot svelte. Oh yeah, in the same. We're in the same place here. There we go. That's working. That is working. Okay. Good. Now over here, we can create use. Didn't I create that file already? Oh, yeah, I did. Create user. Now here. Okay, so let's look at the other one, which is user object. Okay. I think we're going to need, so creating a user, there's going to be a post, and so now I think about it, object property is probably not the best name for that, since it's going to be not just properties on objects, but a few other things as well. But I'm not going back to changing it now. Property from dot slash property dot svelte. Okay, I think we'll need that. The example button, yes. Example button from slash example button svelte. Just gonna call it that. Call it container. All right, so now we are describing a route. So let's take a look, create a customer. So this is going to be similar to theirs, but not the same. Parameters. And we'll eventually have to write errors for our docs for our errors as well. Like they do here. Let me see what that looks like real quick. Error. Stripe uses conventional HTTP response code. Yeah, we'll need something like this eventually. Excuse me. Got a coffee. Well, okay. So, all right. So the comp parameters. Ooh. Yeah. Create user. And sample button. Example is going to be create user example. Just create user is fine. Create user. And on display aside. All right, H3. So here we're going to have parameters. Is it? They use parameters, but I don't like that. It's not parameters, is it? Say body. Oh, I need to add the route. So this is going to be slash. So span here. Classes method. And post. Close the span. And we're going to have slash API slash user. Okay. Button body. and that's where we're going to use our object properties. So object property. Property is going to be, all right, this is where we need to check. What the fuck? All right, so just let's update. Email, password, confirm password, first name, last name. Email. Type. String. Description. Be user email address. Must be unique. Yeah, just object property. Password. Yeah, we'll add in be unique. Type string. Description. User password must contain at least 10 characters. Confirm password. Type string. Confirmation password match password. Man, I am just having tons of typos. Alright. Got all that. Let's just take a look. Are we using this yet? Supposedly. Create user. That is our create user. Correct. Yes. Internal editor. What's our issue? Object property. Jesus. There we go. Just need a little bit of styling. Alright, what the hell am I doing? I have no idea. Style. So our dot container padding 0 pixels. H2 margin 15 pixels 15 pixels, and our H3 has a margin 35 pixels 15. And then our font size is 16 pixels. And look at that. Beautiful. We need a better... Yeah, that needs some style. So we need a better... divide here. We're not... Our dividers aren't showing up because we forgot to add the divider style. Right. Need this, and our page divider border 1 pixel solid RGBA. Get rid of it from here. There we go. It's a little bit funky, but I think that's okay, honestly. That's now down. Oh, it's using 50% of the full. Okay. Fine. I'll get to that. I'll get to it. I'll get to it right now, actually. The side. So position. Leave it fixed. Top 0. Right 0. Height 100 view height. Ah, shit. Ah. Yeah, that's not terrible. But it goes with you. It's just not going to work. Okay. Oh. Excuse me. So we don't want it fixed. We want to give it a position of absolute, I think. And then what is the side is inside the container. So I need to give the container a position fixed, not fixed, relative. I think that'll work. Oh, you wee little shit. Oh, that completely takes it out of the flow, so it's not shrinking. not dealing with it right now. I'll deal with that later. Got other stuff I'm working on, so I thought that would be a quick fix. I forgot it would not shrink this anymore when that happens. Let's fix this up. I want to see what that looks like if I put it, instead of in a P, in a code block. User F. So this right here. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Problem is it puts the example button up on the same line, which is fucking weird. I don't know why it would do that, but okay. Just add a break. Yeah. All right. So for dot route, margin left 15 pixels. Okay, that pushes it in the way we want. And for dot method, margin right will be 15 pixels. Okay, that's good. Actually, if I'm being honest, I think that might maybe make the font size a little bigger. So I'm going to do that on the route. It's too big. Good, but if we're going to do that, I think I want to put that in a little bit more. I think I like that. That's pretty good. I think this double line here, where there's a line at the bottom and then this divider line, is not great, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. It does need to be thicker. It makes it a little bit better, I think. All right. So we've got our route for create user. We're going to need to fix up our menu a little bit. So route. Yeah, that's fine. We're going to need IDs. So what I'll do, so on this user, we're going to add an ID for this user. User, and here we'll reference user. Then we need a class equals I'm going to make this main, and this will be sub, and this will be user object. Our href here will be user object. This will be create user. And then I haven't done this in Svelte, so I'm curious to see if this works the same, because maybe IDs are kept the same. User object. No, I just want the user. And then we can do user object. ID user object. Create user. ID create user. Not really sure if this is going to work or not, but let's find out. Right. So those are ugly as hell, but I don't care right now. It's not working. So we are going to docs API create user. It's not bringing us down there. Let's try, instead of this, we put it here. Actually, let's try that. That works. Good. Okay. So lesson learned. Are these, so the components are actually basically thrown away. They're used just for us, but when it's compiled, gets rid of them, so you can't put things like IDs or something on them. Basically just Svelte stuff. So this also needs to go away. And need to go to our user object. Put an ID here. Page. Okay, so I can't do that. And that's an issue because I can't do that. Figure that out later. But we should have user object. Create user. Good. We're scrolling. So this user is all right, so that's working. And everything still looks fine. All right, that all works. Let's go back to the menu. So, main font size, 22 font. Okay, this is all fine. That one, no color, RGB, good. 200. Okay. Are we clickable? We're clickable. Okay, so our menu, I'm going to set this to display flex direction column. Boom, good. Now main and sub. This will be font size 20 pixels. Font, just leave that. Text decoration none. Color RGB 200, 200, 200. We're gonna give it a little. Not yet. I was thinking about giving a little bit of margin to space them out, but let me see how it looks first. What was the last thing? These, These I want margin left. I feel like 15 is going to be too much, but we'll see. It's actually just right. A little bit smaller too. I think that'll be good. Just want to get that off the edge there. That works. The menu's too narrow as well. Let's just set this width 250. Yeah, I think that's good. Margin. So top, I want 25 pixels. 0, 0, 5. Looks good to me. This header title, that's going full, so I need text align center. Good. See, this is, so the border right is black. Let's change this to white. Yeah, that will make it, let's say 3. But we don't want that white. That is obnoxious. Oh, wait. That's not how I did that. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, and we're linking here. Excellent. Almost thinking a little bit more. Let's try 25 pixels left. Is that 25? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think 25 pixels is good there. Is this? I think that's pretty good. Update style on the menu. Add some routes to good enough. And I gotta go. I've got a meeting at 6, so it's just a few minutes away. and oh, we got a ban here. Okay. All right. That's it. I'm done for the day and pick back up with Rust on Monday, creating our API. Peace.